Tikanga for me is like common sense. Tikanga can change. We saw that over COVID where there was no hariru, so there was no hongi, so we still done our tikanga and we did the elbows, or sometimes we didn't do any of that, and that's fine because that's about common sense. It's doing the right thing for the time, and we just allow our kaumātua and kuia to make those decisions.
Tika, tanga, tikanga. The root word there is tika, to ensure that everything is right according to our customs and traditional practices for Ngāti Toa.
But then kawa doesn't change.
Kawa is cemented in concrete. Like our speaking protocol, Te Oti Tū Mai, whānui waka, will never change.
You know, we come from the Tainui tradition, so we follow the Tainui kawa, the way in which we welcome people on. And when we go into somebody else's marae, you know, we have to follow this, but when they come to our marae, they have to follow our ritual.
The role of the whaipai is to, one, ensure that our kawa is strong. We're Tainui kawa, Te Oti Tū Mai, and in all cases that must be adhered to.
The important role of the pai is also to uphold the mana of our iwi, show aroha and manaakitanga to those that are coming onto our marae, but also those who need us in their hour of need, for tanihanga and things like that.
The role of the paiaraki, the lead speaker, the person that holds the kawa to a process, they direct the mahi of the pai, who's more fitted to open in the middle, to pick up conversations, to enhance conversations, and then the final speaker is to wrap it up and to bring it, to a conclusion. The paiaraki being responsible to communicate with the kitchen, not so much during a pōwhiri itself, but in between, so you're making sure that the kitchen's happy and that the pai is okay. You have a duty and an enormous responsibility. It's a role that you have to, ensure that your tikanga, your kōrero, is expressed in the proper manner. You represent not yourself, but you're there as the voice of the people.
It's also a privilege as well to, for your aunties and your uncles and your kuia and your koros to put you there, because they obviously see that there's something within you. But it's not a self-appointed position. You're put there by people on the pai. It's a huge responsibility, but it's also a privilege to be able to sit on the pai for your iwi.
The actual wahine lead the pai because they're the ones that always remind the men where things should be. Especially anything to do with whakapapa and who the manuhiri who are coming on, they could be your whānau, you don't know. There could be a kauemate amongst them, so you've got to actually really know who's at that waharo to bring them in. Never thought I'd ever be a kaikaranga in the whānau because I'm the third to eldest. The biggest learning I got was really between Whakarongotai and Takapuahia because they had all the kaikaranga. Always heard Aunty Charlotte, Nanny Rutan and Nanny Utota, but by that time they got too old. And then Nanny Eileen, she was the pinnacle of the pai because she was the matriarch of Toa Rangatira as kaikaranga.
I suppose being brought up around here, my journey started when I was really young. My earliest memory would be with Nanny Eileen. I admired her just because she was a loving kuia, but also she was on our pai.
She gave me 3 things always to remember, and the 3 things she said to me, she goes, always wear your pango, never wear tarau ever on the pai, and never karanga outside your rohe. Well, that was one that really, I thought, gee, I had to really think about it. I realised that we can't go anywhere without our matriarch if we're going outside our rohe. Doesn't matter who you're with, but you've got a matriarch that carries the mana of karanga for your iwi, and that was Nanny Eileen. Nanny Eileen used to poke a stick at some of the wahine that would go out in multicolours. She would not allow it on the maho. She would just go shake a stick and then they would turn around and go back inside. She wouldn't have them out there. should just do it herself. Because she had the mana. She was the only one left out of that generation to articulate the safety. It was all about safety. It wasn't about being bossy or anything. It was about the safety of our people.
I remember an experience when I first stood on the fire, and I had all my uncles there sitting. They said, "It's all right, moko. Try not to, but it's best you make a mistake in your own whare than on someone else's."
You know, being part of the development of Te Whanangō put me in reasonable stead to be able to get up on the pai at Tofuā here for Ngāti Toa, to welcome people to our marae and also to participate in our rituals as well. I built up my knowledge and understanding of Ngāti Toa over that time. Back in those days, the principal speaker was Uncle Wara Kātune. He was always there for Ngāti Toa.
My advice to our rangatahi, haramai, noho, whakarongo. Our rangatahi are naturally, they come with all this energy and they're excited, and their time will come, but it's important that they take this opportunity to learn from the kuia and the karaua, so that they are ready to step in. I've always had the opinion that, you know, starting in the kitchen and making sure that you know how to manaaki tangata is at the core of it. But I think it's important for rangatahi as well to make sure that they're present in that space and that they're doing those things and not just thinking they come straight onto the pai, because you have to understand how the kouta works as well.
I don't think the heart of Ngāti Toa is ever going to change. It'll still be about Aotearoa, where we are, our place. Our movement down here from Kawhia is a significant event. Not just for Ngāti Toa, but I think in respect of Aotearoa as well. The good thing, of course, is that we've also expanded, because after the treaty settlement, our rohe are much, much more firmer and with conviction. Because if you look at the South Island, for example, Ngāti Toa now have large holdings in Te Tauihu.
Te reo, the pai and taonga are the ones that keep our people living. They keep the bloodlines instinct to the tūranga wāwai for our marae in this rohe, because we're it.
I suppose if you look at it like in terms of what we do, we're stoking and we're keeping things going so that those who don't live here always have a place to return. But as the pai, you got to make sure you are supporting our whānau who are disconnected or who haven't been home for a long time, to come onto their marae in a safe manner, but so that they feel like that they belong here.
For the future, I know that it's going to come through the kura, through the puna, through the kohanga reo. And my role and responsibility is to ensure that if I'm around, that I'll be there guiding those young ones coming through.
Our role is to ensure that we are strong, that we understand our kawa, that our children are educated, that they participate, be part of the tribe.
I think it's so important for my reanga that we never lose sight of those kuia and koro that have done the hard yards, pave the way for this reanga to come forward and be in those seats, that their memories are not lost. And ka whakamana, ka whakatīna na tonu mātou i a rātou.